Uh, hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Business Women or New Zealand Women in Business, the real highlight reels of women in business, and in particular Kiwi women who are doing it and making it happen. And it's so imperfect today for me. I was meant to be in my office, there was a power cut. I was meant to have an interview this morning and it didn't happen, and you just roll with the punches, right? And I endeavor to always want to show up and share with you guys the real highlight reels of things happening, because it's so important. And the reason why I am interviewing my clients and my past clients is their stories are all incredible. And before I jump on with them, they're always like, oh no, Nat, my story isn't that interesting. I'm like, oh my gosh, you've got no idea that your story is going to impact so many people. And today's guest, I've got so much love for her. Her name's Bhawana, and her story is just, it's so damn interesting. It's full of heartache, it's full of resilience, it's full of coming back. And I was lucky enough to, I was thinking back actually, babe, it's probably a year or a little bit over a year since we first got to hang out together. And you're one of those women who you inspire me, because of your intelligence. Like, you're just so damn onto it, and your brain is amazing. And you're the first person who I've met who's a television broadcast engineer by trade, who had a really amazing job, and you kept it all to do what? Share with us what you did, and welcome.
Thank you, Nat, for that great intro. Oh my God.
And throwing you in the deep end.
You make me feel so special.
Oh, you are.
So, hi everybody in the allergic to perfection or imperfection.
Hey, when it's imperfect, you can say what you want, you'll get it right.
Hi. So, as Nat said, my name is Bhawana, and I came to this beautiful country 10 years ago, I think, as a young, fresh student studying masters in engineering. Landed myself a corporate job. I was one of the very few female engineers in the country. So I was so used to hearing, when I tell people, oh, I'm an engineer, it's such a comfortable position. Everybody looks at you in a different way, And for me to give up that and start something like from scratch, something that I have no idea absolutely about, it was a bit difficult, because now when you're trying to do something, I'm trying to be an entrepreneur. And when people ask you, oh, so what do you do? And now I'm like, I'm no longer an engineer now, and I'm trying to own what I'm actually doing currently. So I tell them, oh, I am doing a business. And by then I've turned people off already. So I think that was very difficult for me to come out from that comfortable job title to not knowing what you're actually doing, trying to explain to people what you're doing.
But you did it so well. When I first met you, you had already given your, what we call a side hustle a go. It was Oh My Closet. And you'd already given it a go, hadn't you? And just to tell us a little bit about what it was.
Right.
Because what I like about your story is, and actually for all of us, we go on this business journey, and often that can mean 4 different business ideas, and the 5th one takes off, right? So it's not necessarily the first one, right? It's that journey or the iteration. So tell us about that first biz that you were doing while you were working.
Right. Okay. So I started Oh My Closet with an idea of bringing quality clothing for women, working women, to this country. So I got a few brands, and I tried to find out, like, okay, how online e-commerce works and all that. But then I was not very happy with, just being another retailer for clothing. So then I got deeper into it, and I thought, hey, what if, I make these clothes like really awesome design, make it sustainably. And hey, even better than that, I manufacture it in very limited quantities back in my hometown, which is in Darjeeling in India, which is a really remote Himalayan village. So I thought, oh, that would provide job opportunities to the people out there, and I will be bringing in quality stuff. You will not be running into somebody else wearing the same dress as you that was bought from Portsmouth or I don't know, wherever. so that was the whole idea, and I started on that journey so passionately. And
But before that, babe, do you remember to get to that passionate part and to use your background in your hometown in the Himalayas and Darjeeling, to before you got there, you had to go on a real journey, didn't you, of talking to people who didn't take you seriously, like,
yes,
you know, what is this all about? And it's what you've always done so well, is even if you've always stepped into the unknown and given it a go. And I don't think you realize that that's actually that's not an average trait of someone. That actually is what makes you so great. So I'd love to just share that space of what it was like to go from that journey of, hey, now I think I want to do this, and where it got to, or when you went home to go and see the garments.
right. So it started with finding people who were going to support me.
Mm.
um, I think one of the first persons that was really invested in me and whatever I was doing was you. So thank
Nah.
you so much for that. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's why I admire you so much, because you just helped me come out of my shell. And I think you remember when I just gave up my corporate and I was talking to you. I was so, the imposter syndrome was like,
Yeah.
full on, because I'm like, I don't know shit about these things. I know nothing about garments and clothing, nothing. So it was very difficult, like even to talk to suppliers. I'm talking to them and they talk those technical terms related to clothing, and I'm like, I don't know anything about it. So it was having to learn every
Mm.
little aspect of it. And then I had a business mentor who was very good at helping me with the finance side of things, and he was running numbers with me, and yeah, telling me all those things. But and there were these few people like you, like my business mentor, my husband.
Yeah, you've had good support,
Yeah,
and what I love about your idea though is it was getting you to find the passion behind it and your whole reason why behind it, and you worked really hard to find that and
yes,
that whole gap in the market and where you fitted into that and
right.
what business could be about, and that's the journey, and you did that really well.
Yes, so being all positive, I got my samples done and stuff done, and I said, okay, we go into manufacturing. So I booked the flight tickets to India in February, packed my two children,
Mm.
and headed off home. And yeah, I think it was a week later that I arrived in India. COVID happened, and India just went into a lockdown. So
And you just had the first piece was the monsoon dress. There was
yeah,
pictures, it was coming, pre-sales were about to happen, and then freaking lockdown literally just knocked you
yeah, yeah. So I then at that time I did not know where my tailors went. so yeah, they were trying to get out, get out of the village themselves, trying to see to go to another place where they can actually still continue with the trade and stuff. So they were in a different place. We were like, oh my God, how are we going to come back? So I think we were supposed to come back end of March. So we were more focused on, okay, now we need to get back home. How do we get back? And then I had these two little girls who were like, oh, why are we here? But where's daddy? The
Um,
daddy was going to come. So I was, yeah, and then I was living with my in-laws back in,
oh, was it with your in-laws? Oh, that
yeah, yeah,
changes it. I thought it was with your
yeah.
parents.
So that changes everything. Yeah, but again, everybody was very supportive. So, and the kids had a blast, just being spoiled rotten. So
I thought
yeah,
you to take a moment, and I remember messaging you during that time because I was like, oh my God, how the hell are you? Because
yes,
you've got a resilience that I don't think you realize again. It's a really big quality of yours. Like I know that it wouldn't have always been unicorns and rainbows, but
right.
you really dealt with it in a really positive mindset. I really want you to take that on board. And you were not that you were literally stuck in India in your in-laws for how long?
For 6 months.
right? Your kids away from your husband, you away from your husband, you know, in your brand new business. So, you know, I want you to really acknowledge that you're fucking kick-ass, babe. Like, seriously.
Thank you. Thank you. And I do remember sending you a message saying that I'm actually, it was heartbreaking when I
Yeah.
yeah, when I told you that I'm sad that all my closet, because I felt like her wings were just clipped off before even she took flight, but things were just out of my control. I mean, I could try and resurrect it, but at that moment I was like, is it even worth my effort? You know, I think there's a really fine line when you say, okay, I'm just not going to do it now. And to be honest, my husband still asks me, are you going to continue with this at all? Or, and I'm like, in my heart, yes, but I know that, you know, financially, just it's not just viable for me currently to carry on with it. So I'm like, okay, but it's on pause. So
How have you like got, you know, how have you stopped your mind from like, or has your mind said to you, oh, it's because you don't have what it takes, you can't really do this? What was your mind chatter like then?
I think if I had not met you before, then I would be deep down inside this well of like, oh, there, you'll see, you were not qualified enough or good enough to do it and all that. But I think thanks to all your training and all the self-improvement books that I consume like crazy, you know about it. I was like, okay, so A didn't work, that's fine. And I think that's one good thing about being an engineer. I've got a very analytical brain.
Yeah, you could know that there was so much that you didn't do wrong, right? That you couldn't attach to it.
Yes, because we do a lot of testing. I used to test a lot of television transmitters, and it's like, okay, if this didn't work, that's fine. Okay, change it, work to do the next one, make it, and eventually it is about making it work. It doesn't matter how many times you have to tweak and adjust. Eventually, it is about making the thing work and make sure that picture is on your damn TV. You know, so.
Oh, we've had a little glitch in the broadcast. We need your engineer skills on here. Hopefully the internet comes back. But I love what Bhawana is talking about in terms of when we first started coaching together. She soon realized it's not always about strategy, because to execute the strategy, you have to have a success mindset and just building on that. So we'd talk a lot about imposter syndrome. We'd talk a lot about, testing, how that's normal and natural in a business. I'm hoping that her internet brings me back. Look, we could be having a little pause and a break here, team. So I'll keep telling you about Bhawana, and she'll hopefully jump back in. That often coaching in that business journey, as much as it is all about strategy, is actually, you know, helping you understand the overwhelm and the ego that comes with, going on your own business journey. And not to mention that Bhawana has 2 small young children. And so she was working a full-time job while straddling her Oh My Closet. And going and learning a lot of new things. So just for her, that mental capacity was massive, and she did such an amazing job. So, you know, to have that kind of heartbreak through it all, her resilience is massive. And I know that so many of you are going to be getting a lot from this interview. And we have her back. I just carried on talking and was like, oh, this is hilarious, because this is the engineer we need for the broadcast.
I always say technology is only good when it works.
So I just carried on talking, babe, so we just can segue straight in. I was actually talking about you while you weren't here and saying cool things. But I love the point you've made about in an engineer's perspective, you've got to test until it works. And that's actually the attitude that you need in business. And so that's what you naturally would do. Oh, that didn't work, so let's change it. And that's in itself is an amazing skill, because a lot of women in business are like, it didn't work the first time, therefore I'm useless.
Right.
So you've bounced back really quick. And what I know about you is being an engineer means you're a great researcher. So when we first met, you knew in theory a lot of stuff. And it was getting you to put it in action.
Yes.
What I love about your new business idea, which I'd love for you to share, is how this is a natural evolution for your next stage in business. Tell us about what you're up to.
Right. Okay. So, so like I told you, with my old business, I was looking for support. I was looking for coaching, mentorship, and that was how I stumbled upon wonderful people like you. And even at times when I was feeling down with, all my closet not taking off, I mean, your kind messages, and there were a whole lot of other people who would message me, like if I put out a post on a Facebook group about, asking something, then just people were so supportive um, with their ideas and with their opinions and all that. Uh, and a lot of them were business coaches. And I thought to myself, hey, there are all these wonderful business coaches out there, and I know that people are looking for them, right? Like me, there are other people who need to, pivot in these uncertain times. But where are they? There is no place to find them easily. And then I ran a bit of numbers and said, okay, what are people searching for? And I used Neil Patel's very friendly keyword research tool,
Oh, yes.
Uber Suggest. So I typed in business coach and Z, and I'm like 360 searches, like volume in a month. That's like pretty lot of searches, for a country like New Zealand. And then I keep searching for these terms, and I look at what's coming up on Google, and I see all these paid ads. I see big names like Ice House, but where are all these small business coaches, who coach small businesses and make a difference? Where are they? Why are they not on Google? So with that intention, I said, hey, you know what? I'm going to build a platform, and I'm going to put all these coaches on the platform so that it's easy for them to showcase what they do to people who are looking for coaches, and they can serve them better, and more so that they can spend more time coaching. I know when you become a coach, you want to coach people, not be like a marketer trying to always market yourself. But I did a few surveys, and I found out that people were spending more time doing marketing for their business, than actually coaching. And I thought, hey, this is ridiculous. A coach should literally just be coaching. That's what they're good at. So with that intention, currently I'm building a platform. It's called Get Coached. I didn't realize I'm going to talk about it
Cool.
because
I know. It's like nothing like talking about it now, right? Get it in action.
Oh my God. Because it's still a work in progress.
But that's awesome, and that's why I wanted to touch on it, is so that it's okay that it's still in progress and that you can still talk about it, and Get Coach. What a cool, and I know that a lot of people are backing you, are jumping on, going, what a cool idea. Because we know if someone's going to make something work, it's going to be you, because the engineer in you is going to test it until it does, and the resilience part of you is going to be like, I'm going down with this. If the ship's going down, I'm going down with it. And that's what you personify in your own work ethic. So I know before we jumped on this interview, I said to you, hey, what have you been up to? What have you been up? Are you going to get a job? What's been going on? And you touched on something really cool about how much you're enjoying just actually being at home.
Being lazy. Lazy at home. No, actually I'm exhausted at the end of the day, because I didn't never realize when I was a working mom, like how much energy it takes to actually stay with the children, feed the children, plan out rainy day activities, outdoor activities. It's a lot of work. So like I mentioned.
And do you wonder how you did it before, when you had like a high powered job, 2 young children, and you were growing a side business as well, right? You wonder how you did it?
I think I was overworked then. Now when I think of it, so at the moment I'm much more relaxed. I am much more fulfilled, I just feel more purposeful. Like as a mother, I am able to just have that 5-minute extra cuddle with them, and those things just yeah, there's no price we can put on that. So I'm really enjoying this moment.
What would
While
you love
working.
to say to someone who's just in a real startup? They're just starting, the ideas there, they've just started to join Facebook groups, they're wanting to put themselves out there. What's some advice that you'd love? Because you've got a lot of amazing stuff to share.
Yeah, I would tell them, don't do what I did. That is, that is. I believe in learning a lot.
Yeah.
I consume a lot of content, but that is very traditional, just to, like, traditional schooling teaches you, okay, yeah, learn this, learn history, learn geography, learn blah, 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 blah. And you put all these content in your brain, right? And
Mm.
when do you apply it? I don't know. Like when we were studying engineering, you had to learn all the formulas for these electric motors. Where did I apply it? Nowhere. So now what I feel is, yes, consume the content, but apply it immediately, you know, test
Yeah.
it, fail it. Failing is, it's so bloody good. I never, I think the first time I told you, when I met you, I told you, I don't fail.
Yeah.
I think I told you that. I don't fail. I've never failed in my life. Because I pivot, and make sure I succeed. But now, as I've grown older, I feel like failing is so important, because it's like fail fast, learn fast, adapt faster,
Yeah.
So I say, t- learn things, implement it, fail, you'll find out immediately what's not going to work, and then you can pivot, and that's the fastest way to success.
That is so powerful. That is such a cool message. And I love how you understand that literally from your engineering brain and just and literally through business. And those are the journeys, what you've just shared with us. Those are the journeys, those are the highlight reels that I want more women to hear about, is that you have to test and fail, right? It doesn't come about any other way. And I think
Yeah,
we don't want to have those and we want to dismiss it.
yeah.
Any parting words that you want to share with us? Anything else you'd love to, got the platform to get out there and inspire other women listening? Anything else you want to share with them?
um I'm like, yeah, I think another thing that I want to say is
Mm.
belief in yourself. Again, this is something that I struggle with myself,
Mm.
every single day. I'm just operating out of fear, like, oh no, no, I can't do it. But and I think you are the perfect person to talk about this thing. But having that self-belief that you are going to make it, it doesn't matter what. And I think that solves like 80% of the problem, like just that attitude of, yes, I'm going to nail this. um just, yeah, I think that carry that kind of attitude with you, that is so crucial.
And I love that you said that. I remember when we were, first started coaching together, and a couple, and like after our first, I think it was our second session, and we started to talk about the mindset stuff, because there's some stuff tripping you up, and you were
Yeah,
like, which is fine, right? It happens to all of us.
yeah,
And you were like, oh, Nat, I feel like, um, that you're having to be my agony aunt or my life coach. And I'm like, but that's business. It's 80% mindset. Strategy, go Google strategy. At the end of the day, it's like, why aren't you taking the action? And just wanted to
exactly.
normalize that for you. So I love that you want to share that back to people. And
Yeah, yeah, reinforce that. it's
yeah,
it's it's all mindset, really, because strategies you can learn, but mindset is something you have to learn and change it within yourself, like it's changing your soul. So
yeah, yeah, it is.
it is difficult, but again, once you've mastered it, then I think you can achieve everything that you set your heart out to.
So where can people start finding you? Shall we do, because the online closet's not there to send people to, get coaches not up and running yet. It's kind of like, oh no, but you've got your Facebook page.
I've got my personal Facebook profile, which has my full name, that is
Yes.
Bhawana Singh. And at the moment, Get Coached, the website for it is still being built
Yeah.
by my dear husband, who is a
Ah,
software developer himself.
how cool. You guys have got skills all over the place.
So yeah, so he's building that. But till then, I've got getcoach.co.nz as a blog
Oh,
handle.
cool.
So I'm just writing content that I think people would find helpful, and
Yeah.
I'm putting it out there, for people to consume. So it's just a blog page.
I thought you had a Facebook page that had you were showing up on too.
No.
No, have you? But that was, you were doing something. But what you were doing when you were in India, you
Right.
also.
Oh, right. Yeah, a long time ago, 6 months ago. So yeah, so while I was in India and I was feeling like totally helpless, that I couldn't do anything, there were a lot of people around me, girls, especially very young girls, who just wanted to find out, oh, how did I do this and how did I do that, you know? So I just started a Facebook page called We the Startups.
That's it.
And
How
yeah,
cool! Like that's awesome.
yeah. And I was just randomly getting in front of camera and sharing things like, sharing things that somebody who's starting a business would benefit from. So that was very basic.
Doesn't matter. It was part of your journey, and that's what I want you to acknowledge today, is how you are in a difficult situation is to be celebrated, because you inspire us through your resilience. And that's why I wanted to reach out and say you've got to get on and share your journey. Because I know the imposter is in you, is like, Nat, but I'm not successful yet. And I'm like,
Exactly. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
you
Right now, I'm like nothing. I'm nobody.
you're somebody to so many people, babe. And I know that, you know, you're going to create the success that's important for you, you know, really soon. And thank you so much for jumping on board. And I can't
Thank
wait
you
to
so
share
much
this
for
out.
having me.
You did it. Yay.
It's done.
It's done.